So a few days ago, Brett Favre spoke with TMZ Sports, and he was asked about the Packers, how he thinks the Packers are going to play now that Davante Adams is no longer here in Green Bay. He also discusses how he thinks Davante Adams is going to play now that he's moving from future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers to Derek Carr. And so I want to give his comments and give some thoughts that I have as well on what Brett Favre has to say. And I think it's always interesting to see what someone like Brett Favre has to say, because I think I value his opinion just because he was here in Green Bay for so long. He has a long history in the NFL. I mean, he was a guy that when I grew up watching the Packers when I was a young lad, that I watched Brett Favre when I was like 4 or 5 years old. He was the first player that I really loved to watch, just, being young and growing up. He was one of, I guess, like my heroes growing up just because I watched him play every Sunday from the time I can even remember. But if you guys are new here, you want to see Packers content, I put it out on this channel pretty much every single day. So stay tuned, news, updates, all that stuff I got you right here on this channel. So feel free to subscribe down below and drop a like on the video if you do enjoy it. So first off here, from his comments to TMZ. So he says this: no disrespect to Davante at all. Zero disrespect. I do think that Davante will make Derek Carr better, and in time, they will be a dynamic duo. Now, will it be the duo that Aaron and Davante had? Time will tell, Favre told TMZ Sports on Saturday. I think Derek Carr is a very good quarterback, but he's not in Aaron's league yet. He may never be, and that's no disrespect either. But I do think that Davante owes a great deal of gratitude to Aaron and the Packers drafting him. That's not to say he's not a great player, because he is a tremendous player, and we'll see that with Las Vegas. But it's just hard to shift gears, especially from a player as prolific as Aaron Rodgers. I'd be shocked if he had the same year he's had this year. That's not to say he can't do it, but I would be shocked. I do think that no one thinks Derek Carr is better than Aaron Rodgers. I definitely think that most people recognize, just how great Aaron Rodgers is. And it's not to say Derek Carr isn't a great quarterback. He is a solid quarterback, but he is definitely not at Aaron Rodgers' level. So I want to look here at Aaron Rodgers' stats last year versus Derek Carr's stats just to show the difference here. So Aaron Rodgers, 4,115 yards, 37 TDs to only 4 interceptions, 111.9 rating. Now to Derek Carr. Derek Carr did have 700 more passing yards, 4,804 passing yards, 23 touchdowns, 14 interceptions, and a 94 passer rating. So he was more productive when it came to passing yards, partly because the Raiders had one of the worst defenses in the NFL last year. So when your team is letting up so many points, you have to keep passing the ball. So I think that's one reason he did pass for more yards, but he did throw 23 TDs to 14 interceptions. Definitely a much worse touchdown-interception ratio than Aaron Rodgers, and a 94 rating, which is much less than Aaron Rodgers. So maybe Davante can have similar stats just because of that volume that he could see once again over there in Las Vegas. I do think their defense could be a little bit better. But when you do look at Derek Carr, he hasn't really had a talent, I think, of Davante Adams' caliber. If we look last year to Las Vegas, they had that unfortunate situation with Henry Ruggs, who no longer plays there. And then Hunter Renfrow was their top pass catcher, had 103 receptions for about a little over 1,000 yards. And then they have Darren Waller over there. So I do think when you add a player like Davante Adams, one of the best, if not the best wide receiver at this time, when you add him to that Las Vegas Raiders offense, I think they're going to be much more dynamic. No doubt about that. That's why they're willing to pay him so much money. And so now to have Renfrow, Davante Adams, and Darren Waller, I do think that is going to make this Raiders team, that much better. And I still think Davante Adams is going to have a very productive year, even though he is not with Aaron Rodgers. And we'll see if it takes time for them to build that chemistry back. Will Davante be at the same level as he was in Green Bay? I don't know. It's hard to say he will be just because of how talented Aaron Rodgers is. But Derek Carr is going to have to throw the ball a lot, and I think he's going to be looking Davante Adams' way. So I don't think he's going to take that much, honestly, of a dip in production. I think he'll have similar stats to last year just because of how much more they passed the ball last year. And then now moving on to Brett Favre and his comment regarding the Packers and how they're going to look. So here is what he had to say. They'll be okay, Favre said. It's hard to replace a great player like Davante Adams. It's hard to replace Aaron Rodgers. You don't replace those players. You plug someone and hope that the others take up the slack until that person finds their own way. Aaron's too good, much like Tom Brady has gone into every season and managed to systematically tear teams apart with whoever. It doesn't matter, and that will be the case with Aaron. So Brett basically saying Aaron doesn't need any. I mean, you give Aaron Rodgers any receiver and he's going to play at an elite level, and I agree with this sentiment. I know that we lost Davante Adams and we have lots of uncertainties at wide receiver, but we have Aaron Rodgers, and because we have Aaron Rodgers, that's why I'm not worried about this Packers offense. I think we're going to be A-okay. I think we're going to be much better than A-okay when you add someone like Christian Watson, who is just such an insane athlete. 6'4", 4.36 40. part of me was thinking today, like, are we underrating just how dominant Christian Watson could be in 2022? Because I know it's easy to say, okay, well, he's a rookie, he's going to take time to develop, which maybe he will. But at the same time, like, are we undervaluing just how dominant Christian Watson could be? Because I do think when you look at this Packers wide receiver room, he is the most athletically gifted player on this team when you look at the wide receivers. So I almost wonder if after a few weeks playing with Aaron Rodgers, if he's just going to rise to the top of the depth charts and become the number one wideout within the first couple months of the season. I mean, I don't know if we should discount that possibility just because of how insane of an athlete he is. And it's always like, I'll add the caveat, like, okay, if he takes time, I'm not going to say he's not going to be a good receiver. Like, I'll give him time. But at the same time, could he dominate right away? I think it's possible. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But as Brett Favre said, this Packers team is going to be A-okay. I'm not worried whatsoever about this Packers offense. Just because, too, when we look at the backfield, everything going on there. We've talked about this at length this offseason, but me personally, I'm not worried. I have zero worries whatsoever for the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. But those are Brett Favre's comments I thought we would share because it's fun to see what Brett Favre is up to and what he had to say about Aaron Rodgers and the Raiders and Davante Adams. So that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, feel free to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss any more videos. The second I make Packers news videos, if you have your notifications on, you'll get an alert with the Packers news. So stay tuned for those. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.